This video did not go as planned. To be honest, I started filming this video about a month ago when I realized I needed to be putting more effort into intentionally spending time alone and feeling as though I could take care of myself and be there for myself and that I didn't rely on other people so much. One of the driving factors for me making that shift in my life was challenges in my relationship at the time. I'm not gonna get into it because I'm never gonna say anything bad about that person. They were wonderful, and so the bread and butter was that things weren't working and I wanted to make a shift. And so I started spending time alone very intentionally, and you will see for the first half of this video how I was actively trying to spend time alone while I was in a relationship. I'm no longer in a relationship. It's still fairly fresh, and so there's some feelings that are coming up just as I talk about it. But I wanted to not just scrap this video. I wanted to be really raw and honest and showcase what it was like for me to try to spend time alone while I was in a relationship. And then I want to come back to this space after you've seen that and talk about what it's like now spending time alone going through a breakup. So, for the first half of this video, here's how I spent time alone while I was in a relationship, trying to mend my own relationship with myself. Here you go. It is the morning. It is the morning. What a weird way to start that video. Saturday morning, it's around, what time is it? It's around 9:30. I lay in bed from like 7 to 9, which was nice. Now, the thing is I have an entire weekend ahead of me where I don't really have many social plans. I have one video shoot that I'm doing today with my brother, and otherwise I'm completely alone. But on top of that, my friends are very busy this weekend. My partner is working all weekend. My family is busy this weekend, and so I don't even have access to like texting people. I very much am alone. And I don't often do well with that. And so that's where we're at. I wanted to challenge this idea that I can be alone and like enjoy my time, and not just like kind of alone, but like really alone. So this is what we're doing. Something I have learned from spending time alone is the importance of doing things for me, like getting ready in the morning so that I can be the best Hayley that I want to be. And a new obsession I've had for the last few months that's been helping me with this is Scentbird. I have a pretty busy schedule where I'm always out and about, so it's super convenient to be able to have their travel size perfumes on me at all times. I kid you not, I take these with me everywhere so that I always have me and my friends covered in smelling fresh. Scentbird really makes me feel like I have my life together, even when that may not be the case. Current scent that I'm loving is Vanilla Woods by the 7 Virtues, because it smells like vanilla and I absolutely love that, but it also just lasts all day long. The scents I ordered this month are Sleek Sandalwood, Vanilla Woods, and Sunsets in Capri, because honestly they're very bright, airy, really light spring scents, and they just make me feel really energized starting my day. Scentbird is a fragrance subscription that allows you to choose a new designer scent each month for only $17. With Scentbird, each month you can personally choose what fragrances you receive, so there are no surprises. There are over 700 perfumes and colognes on their website, so there are a ton of fragrances to choose from. With each fragrance, there is a 30-day supply bottle supplied to you so that you can test it out before ordering the full bottle. Thank you, Scentbird, for sponsoring this video. You have saved me in my day-to-day life because smelling good equals feeling good. If you guys are interested in trying Scentbird, use my code Hayley55OFF or scan my QR code to get 55% off your first month subscription. I wanted to start my alone day outside because this is how I start every day. I try to take my dog on a walk every morning, and so it was important to me that I kept that routine, but I'm actually able to do more time with him out on a walk because I don't have any plans really. So we're taking our time, and I am listening to a Brittany Broski podcast and just like trying to enjoy this gloomy weather and trying to plan in my head what I want to do the rest of the day, but also not over plan, because I tend to do that. So yeah. Oh, found a stick. Just got back from my walk. I now have about 2 hours until I have my YouTube video shoot that I am doing today. I do need to plan for it. I haven't actually like scripted or prepped for it yet, so that immediately is like an activity I can do by myself this morning. But I want to first do some really nice self-care in the means of like making myself a nice drink this morning, making myself a nice breakfast, finishing up my skincare, and getting dressed and ready in a way that will feel comfortable for this video shoot. We're not going for like, she's sexy. We're going for comfort. Because I think that's what's gonna make me feel good today. The video shoot will probably be like hour maybe at the most. And then I got the rest of the day unplanned. A little scary for me, but it's unplanned. And I'm gonna leave it that way for now. I'm not making any plans. Let's go. I just finished scripting the YouTube video I'm gonna film in like 20 minutes or so. I still got some of my show to watch. I am going to move my body and do some relaxing. I drink decaf coffee, but for whatever reason, sometimes coffee like still makes me feel anxious. I might just feel anxious for other reasons, I don't know. But I'm gonna go do some stretching and try to get my body in a state that is really comfortable before we do filming. So I think a big part of spending a lot of time alone is having the ability to recognize what your body's asking for and the needs, and also recognizing that it could just be uncomfortable because you're alone, which for me definitely happens. So let's go move. Ethan, say hi for my other YouTube video.
Hello, the other YouTube video.
What is one piece of advice you would give to people in terms of spending time alone?
When you spend time alone, shut off all outside communication and tell your friends beforehand that you're gonna be not communicating. Give yourself permission to be for like 8 hours actually alone with your thoughts. That's how you create a very splendid atmosphere.
That sounds really scary though, doesn't it? Like a little bit. I'm a little scared of that. All right, so my shoot ended, we did that. I then went out and I grabbed some hair dye and some stuff for like a spa night. And honestly, like usually when I'm alone, filming feels really good because it's a super easy way for me to be distracted, I think. And today I just don't really have the desire to film. Like I have filmed me dyeing my hair, I think every time I have dyed my hair myself. And I just don't have that instinct right now. Honestly, what I would prefer to do is make myself a nice little tea, put my TV show on in the background and dye my hair and do a face mask and like just relax by myself. Like I don't have the instinct right now to pick up my camera, which is kind of cool and kind of interesting. And I think this is a good reminder that practice helps when you're learning a new skill. And I think it is skill-based in your ability to be alone. I don't think that that is naturally a skill that I hold, being alone. And so I feel like I've practiced a lot of it, and now I'm recognizing that there are better effects to it. So that's kind of cool. So I'm gonna go dye my hair, but I'm not gonna film the process. I'm just gonna go do that. I'm gonna light some candles, I'm gonna do a face mask, I'm gonna dye my hair, I'm gonna watch my silly little murder show, and I'm gonna have a nice time. That's so cool. I'm having like a real reflection moment of like, wow, we've come a long way. Yeah.
May I stay here?
Hair has been dyed. I am now made myself some dinner. It's just after 5. Doing the classic, like, just butter and noodles. My stomach's just feeling weird today, so I think that that's a good meal. Then I'm gonna go, I think, play like Stardew Valley for a little while. I might then just read my book for a bit and try to watch some TV. I'm just feeling very like cozy and not really wanting to do a ton right now. I think that's fine. I think a lot of the times when I'm alone, I feel like I have to be productive, but I just don't want to be right now. And that's great. That's great. That's not a like usual thing for me. So yeah, gonna eat my dinner, play some games, kind of just chill. And I love that. Hello, good morning. It's the following day. And I have a fairly alone day again. I did end up planning a time to go meet up with a newer friend for coffee this morning, which feels nice. It's a good reason to like get out of the house and go do something. It's currently like 7 a.m. on a Sunday. Meeting up with that friend at around 10, and the rest of the day is all me, baby. All me. I'm feeling really recharged, honestly, and I think something I'm realizing is that these types of days are necessary to avoid burnout. And I think why it feels so weird to have these types of days is because I've been burnt out for so long that I'm like, oh, this actually feels good, but it's uncomfortable because I'm not used to it. So let's do it. It's walk number 2 of the day, and I'm not gonna lie to you, this is like the easiest way for me to spend my time and not feel guilty. I just had a nap and I was like lounging in bed, I have been watching a show, and for whatever reason my brain just does not like that. It like just makes me feel bad about myself. Honestly, spending this much time alone makes me realize I don't have a ton of hobbies. Like hobbies that I do by myself. And so I think when I get home, I want to maybe make a list or start looking at a hobby I can engage in other than like watching TV or playing a video game, because those are pretty easy ones. So I kind of want to make a list of hobbies so that I have a menu to fall back on when I have time alone, so that I can feel good about how I'm spending my time. I think that might be a good idea. So, a recap of the last couple of hours. I just have had no desire to film because I've been so in the moment, and that's so cool. That's so cool. So recap, I got home, chilled out for a while. I ended up playing some Stardew Valley for a little bit, which was dope. I then did some painting, insert photo of what I painted. I'm an artist. And then I watched an Egypt documentary for a little bit with my dog, and he was genuinely watching the show. Hilarious. And I was trying to figure out what to do for dinner because I've been really good at cooking for myself in the last week. And you know what? It's Sunday, it's the evening, I just want to like chill, I want to relax, but I also wanted to get out of the house a little bit. So I've gone with McDonald's because it just hits like a fundamentally childlike core in my body when I eat McDonald's. And so you know what, fuck it, I'm eating McDonald's, who cares? And I'm gonna just like sit here and watch a YouTube video in my car and eat some McDonald's and chill out, and then I'm gonna go back home. My friend and I are gonna play some Stardew Valley for a bit together, and then I am gonna watch Survivor via FaceTime with my boyfriend. So that is the rest of my evening, less so alone. So I'm trying to like soak in this last little bit of being alone. I feel like I'm gonna be so set up for this week now. I just know that I'm well rested, and that is not a feeling I'm used to. Good morning. Welcome to another day of spending a lot of time alone. I think getting into the habit of walking every morning has been really helpful for these types of days. I feel more grounded, and I feel like I can take on the day a little better than when I just lay in bed until like the last minute. So yeah, got some work to do today, which should be fun. But most of the day I'm spending alone, but I'm not scared of it. I actually feel really good about it, and I think that's a good sign that when you practice spending time alone, you get better at it. Who knew? Practicing a skill makes you better at it. Welcome back. Yeah, it's super weird to go back and look at some of that footage now, but I am so thankful that I started putting my energy towards myself and my time alone, because it has made this breakup so much easier. Honestly, the shift from being in a relationship to not in a relationship hasn't been as dramatic as I have felt it in the past, because in past relationships, I was seeing that person maybe 3 times a week, or we were living together. But in this relationship, we were very rarely seeing each other. And so I'm used to the space. I'm used to the time alone. I don't feel as codependent on somebody else. So that's the first thing, is that it really mattered, that work that I put into myself. I'm feeling the effects now. I absolutely am. Breakups are shitty though. Breakups are hard. Like, yeah. But I'm not here to talk about my breakup. I'm here to talk about being alone, which I am now. For context, the breakup was incredibly mutual. It was exactly when it needed to happen, and it was really like beautiful and wonderful, and there's no hard feelings. It ended up being exactly what we both needed, and so that's great. And the second that the breakup happened, I realized that I was looking at a week that I had no plans set up, and I had a lot of time that I was going to be spending alone. And my immediate reaction was to fill that time. I was terrified of spending time alone because, to be honest, I didn't want to be stuck feeling my feelings. I wanted to distract myself. I wanted to avoid sitting in that negativity for a lot of time. And so I filled my schedule up, and I have not had much time alone at all. Essentially, the only time alone I have had in the last week has been like while I'm working, but I'm so focused on doing my work that I am just working usually. I've started to spend a little bit more time alone. This morning was a really good example of that, and I cannot stress how much the work I did on myself in my relationship is making an impact now outside of it, because I don't feel broken. I don't feel distraught. I don't feel like I'm half a person. I feel very whole in myself. I feel very confident. I feel very self-assured. And I frankly, I feel good about who I am, and that makes alone time so much easier. This morning, I could have gotten up and been super productive and done a ton of things, but I was able to actually sit and reflect and check in on myself and see what I needed. And I realized what I needed was to like have a lazy morning. I just lay in bed for like a couple hours and scroll to my phone, or like would fall back asleep for a bit and then wake up, or like cuddle my dog. And that attuneness that I have to my body is because of the work I was doing. It was because of the time alone I was spending. It was because of the like reflections I was doing. It was a combination of all of those things to get me to where I am now. I am feeling less fearful of time alone in this moment, and moving forward. The last week has been jam-packed with things and people, and it's been great. It's been very supportive. I've had moments where I've been able to pause my workday and just cry and have a good cry about the breakup and just be like, okay, this is where we're at. That's fine. Let's feel feelings. Feelings are felt. Let's move forward. And I feel like I went through the stages of grief while in the relationship, and I'm in acceptance now. And so I'm not so afraid of that alone time. I'm actually feeling more excited about it because the relationship I'm building with myself feels really strong. I am actively trying to have better routine in my life because I couldn't have one to allow flexibility for the other person. But now I can build like really structured routine, which she likes, this brain really likes. So I'm adding more things to my plate in terms of like social things. But I want to actively try to ensure I have scheduled time just for me, even if that is watching a movie by myself or having a really slow morning to like journal and do some movement and whatever it is. Last night I came home after hanging out with a friend for a while, and I felt so filled up from being with somebody else. My alone time then felt great. I went for a nice long walk with my dog. I had a bath. I read my book for a bit, and then I hung out in bed and watched a show, and I just felt so secure, and I haven't felt that in a long time. So that's been really nice. So the real reflection that I am having from filming this video of exploring the difference between alone time when I was in a relationship that wasn't fulfilling me versus now going through a breakup and spending alone time is I am benefiting from all the work I was doing before, and that I now have the responsibility to fulfill all of my needs. There is nobody else that I am leaning on to fulfill those needs for me. And when I was in that relationship, that was something that I was trying to work on, was fulfilling my own needs and not having the expectation of somebody else doing it for me or doing it with me. And it's kind of empowering, honestly, to be like, it's up to me. Like, I don't have to rely on somebody else to do it, and I don't have to worry about the disappointment of somebody else not doing it. I've gone through breakups in the past where it destroyed me and devastated me for weeks. And this is the first time that I'm going through a breakup and I'm like, I'm kind of killing it. And like, I'm gonna keep killing it. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. And that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I want to hear from you in the comments below. What is it like for you spending time alone? Are there times that it's easier, times that it's harder, time that you crave it, time that you desperately want to avoid it? And thank you again to Scentbird for sponsoring this video. If you want to check them out, use the links below and use my code Hayley55off, or use the QR code on screen to try them out. Thank you again for watching. I am so excited to see you in the next video. And if no one yet has told you today, I am so proud of you for putting into the work to yourself, because nobody else is gonna do it for you. So it's pretty cool. You're doing it for yourself. Love you so much. See you later. Bye-bye.